Welcome back to Monday Watching by Nakhchivan time. It's 9 p.m. and Nakhchivan news program in English is on air. I am Fatima Ismail. In the course of our program, we'll convey the latest burning developments in the Autonomous Republic to your minds. Last week, a number of practical conferences on the autumn winter preparations were held and also the forthcoming tasks were identified. Moreover, first freight was transported to Nakhchivan through Baku-Tbilisi-Kars Railway, which is of crucial importance for the region. Furthermore information in our next video blog.
Commissioned last year, Baku-Tbilisi-Kars Railway is the restoration of the ancient Silk Road on steel railways. By relocating the Baku-Tbilisi-Kars Railway with a total length of 850 kilometers, Azerbaijan once again confirmed that it can successfully implement all regional and global projects without any support. Transportation of freight to Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic by this railway has already begun. On August 8, the cargo transported by the Baku-Tbilisi-Kars Railway was unloaded in cars of brother country and transported through Saderek border crossing point to Nakhchivan. Practical conference on the preparation for autumn-winter and the forthcoming tasks was held at Supreme Majlis of Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic. Relevant state bodies, ministries and also committees were tasked on the very preparations. Also last week, practical conferences were held at the ministries, committees and executive powers as well as state bodies and enterprises, and the forthcoming tasks were identified. An event was organized in Shahbuz region on the organization of insurance affairs and the upcoming duties. The importance of the insurance activity was discussed at the event. The current situation on compulsory insurance of real estate, compulsory civil liability insurance of motor vehicle owners, home insurance, personal accident insurance and other types of insurance were analyzed.
The housing ceremony of the newly accepted soldiers was held at Nakhchivan Garrison Troops, Nakhchivan Detached Army, Boda Division of Nakhchivan Interior Troops and also Civil Defense Department of the Ministry of Emergency Situations of Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic. A solemn ceremony took place on the completion of the training course of shooter group commanders at Nakhchivan Detached Boda Division. The speakers congratulated the graduates of the course and wished them success in the hard and honorable service as the inviolability of our sacred Bodas. The graduates were presented certificates on completion of the course.
Starting from last week, news program began in the Russian language. The events in the social, economic and political life of the Autonomous Republic are presented to the Russian-speaking audience at the news program broadcasted on every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Broadcasting of the news in the Russian language will enable the promotion of the Autonomous Republic in a wider space and the widespread propagation of the tourism opportunities respectively.
The launch of the news in Russian language on Nakhchivan State Television has been regarded as an important event in the public life of our country. Information on this was widely covered in the country's authoritative news agencies, newspapers and television. On August 9th, 30 pilgrims from Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic started their Mecca pilgrimage. On this occasion, an event was held at Nakhchivan International Airport. Nakhchivan pilgrims sent to Baku left for Saudi Arabia on August 11th. Construction and capital restoration of residential buildings in Nakhchivan are underway. A new 6-story apartment building with 44 flats on Heydar Aliyev Avenue in Nakhchivan is being built in the national and modern architecture style. Major repair works in the building number 34 in Nizami Street are under completion. Construction workers completed major works in building number 4 in Zero Shamzayev Street. And also in parallel with this, reconstruction works are underway at Jamshid Nakhchivansky's Home Museum.
An old Kehriz is restored in Turkish village of Shahbuz region. The Kehriz with 16 wells in under laying, rebuilding and restoration.
Discussion of the book included to the list of books said to be necessary to read the memoirs of Mr. Henfer was held in the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection of Population of Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic.
In the new academic year, for the purpose of providing comprehensive school pupils with school uniforms in Nakhchivan, Zümrüt Textile and also Zümrüt Siyung Limited liability companies have expanded their activities.
Humanitarian medical actions conducted by the doctor staff of Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic Hospital continue. This time the action took place at Oralık Village Hospital in Shahrur region. Doctors Brigade held outpatient examinations for 81 people and gave relevant recommendations. The Doctors Brigade of Shahbuz Region Central Hospital organized a medical examination of the residents of Badamlı village of the region. Doctors performed ultrasonic examination of prostate cancer in men over 40 and dispensary of 60-65-year-old people. The very medical examinations were continuous throughout the day, and 106 patients benefited of their chance.
In Salma, Batabat is said to be one of the most popular tourist destinations in Nakhchivan. Due to the large number of visitors, cleanliness is in the spotlight in Batabat pasture. So in connection with this, Shahbuz Region Executive Power hired additional staff to keep the area cleaner. Besides this matter, educational conversations are held and waste packages are distributed to collect the wastes. According to the action plan approved by Shahbuz Region Executive Power, some relevant organizations of the region render necessary assistance to the residents twice a month. The regional central hospital doctors visited Salma pastures again, and they were provided with relevant medical advice and necessary medications to the residents' need. Also, cattle breeders were informed on the expected diseases that animals may catch by Shahbuz Regional Veterinary Department. Practical conference with the participation of beekeepers was held in Ordubad region. The conference provided the necessary information on the implementation of the state program on the development of beekeeping in Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic in 2017-2022, as well as the summer care of beekeepers and care of bee families keeping in accordance with the zooveterinary rules, and also organization of honey filtering, and afterwards informative booklets were distributed to the event participants. Monitorings continue by the Ministry of Ecology and Nature Resources of Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic. The next monitoring was carried out in Ordubad region. In the Ordubad Central Hospital, medical waste management, environmental and sanitary regulations have been investigated, and solid waste landfills were checked in Kotan village. Planting areas were watched, and also the importance of irrigation measures were emphasized once more. During the monitoring, samples were taken from the water reservoirs in the region, along with the Ordubad River, and stationary analyses were tested.
For the purpose of preventing animals from fever infections and sunstroke, enlightenment activities and also the veterinary care of animals are continued. This time, employees of Shahrur Region Veterinary Department visited Günnüt Pasture. Next Saturday fair where sale of agricultural and local products organized was held in the central market at Khetai Street in Nakhchivan. At the very fair, ecologically clean and high-quality local products in 98 units and from 23 enterprises were offered to the city residents. The mentioned qualities caused great buyer interest.
The next visitors of summer school organized at Ağbulak Recreation Center were Nakhchivan Technical College students. The youth actively participating in the events organized by the Ministry of Youth and Sport were presented certificates.
The National Intellectual Game Khamsa held on 12 August International Youth Day in Youth Center among young people was summed up. The game, attended by 15 teams, consisted of 4 selective, 2 semi-final and final stages. In the end, the team Turan occupied the first, Batabat team the second and Uğur team the third places. The winners were awarded with diplomas and also books said to be necessary to read. The General Prosecutor's Office of Armenia didn't approve the appeal of a group of deputies on the ex-president Robert Kocharian's release, who was arrested 10 years ago in the March investigation case. Former Armenian Prime Minister Oleg Abramian's brothers were arrested and charged for the episode of illegal possession of ammunition.
The economic crisis brought about difficulties by the government caused the isolation of the country for its aggression policy in Armenia even still cannot be eliminated. Such facts accelerated the migration from the aggressive country. The population of Armenia decreased by more than 10,000 in half a year. Among them, the number of people refusing their citizenships is greater. Military field has also collapsed in Armenia, who lives deep economic crisis. The security service of the aggressive country discovered a new corruption network in the army. There are arrested ones. The number of losses in the Armenian army has also increased.
Upper Lars border crossing point being closed for more than 10 days deepens the economic downturn in Armenia. Officials herald that the road will be closed in the nearest 1 month. Also, experts believe that it will seriously damage freight companies and their loss will increase. The new Armenian government is weak to fulfill its promises given before the Velvet Revolution. The population of the country is much more interested in better social status. Also, the previous problems in Armenia have remained unsolved. Reclosing of the only transport corridor used by the aggressive country for transportation, Yukarılar caused heavy traffic in the border crossing point. We continue our program now, the latest sport and culture news. Museum days continue in the Autonomous Republic. Visitors are informed about the valuable exhibits reflecting our ancient history and rich culture.
Collective visits to museums in the Autonomous Republic enable favorable conditions, increase the interest in museums, also to study and promote our history and culture comprehensively. The collectives of the private enterprises operating in Nakhchivan city once again visited the museums. Taxi service employees in the Autonomous Republic visit to museums continue. This time the drivers visit Hussein Javid's home museum. Measures on effective organization of leisure time children with disabilities in the Autonomous Republic are continued in summer holiday. For this purpose, the feature film Shared Bread, shot in 1969, was demonstrated to children in Nakhchivan State Film Fund. Collectives of Kengerli Region Youth and Sports, Statistical Offices, Education and Culture Departments visited Qarabağlar Tomb Complex and got acquainted with the objects exhibited at the Khanaja section of the complex.
Seminar trainings for museum guides continue. This time the seminar training was held at Jamshid Nakhchivansky's home museum. Participants watched the exposition of the museum and afterwards discussion of the excursion was held. Nakhchivan City Swimming Championship among girls was held on August 12th in a National Youth Day. About 30 female athletes participated in the first 3 age groups. At the end of the 25-meter race on free swimming, distinguished athletes from all age groups were awarded with diplomas of Nakhchivan City Youth and Sports Department. Also on this occasion, the chess championship was held in the Autonomous Republic. 50 chess players took part in the championship. Today's ecological situation is one of the global issues that worry the world. It is a well-known fact that the development of science technology serves to the comfort and development of society. Unless used properly, it violates the ecological balance concurrently. One of the most effective solutions to this problem is planting works. It is proud to say that in recent years, purposeful and constant planting works continue in the Autonomous Republic. More about this in our next news block.
Planting works are considered an important part of large-scale and durable construction works carried out in the Autonomous Republic. In this regard, the establishment of new parks and alleys in the residential areas, also planting along the roads, the creation of flower beds are of great importance. Already these works have become a public consciousness in our region. There was a time the trees were cut off for any reason, but now the very nature destroyers care for nature and upbring their children in this spirit. Planting, cleaning and also reconstruction works have become the lifestyle of the Autonomous Republic residents. To beautify the areas in which they live is always in the focus of the residents. When looking at the wonderful flower beds in different towns, settlements and villages of the Autonomous Republic, one enjoys the beauty. Plantings are said to be the symbol of cleanliness, a healthy environment and abundance. In this sense, the expansion of green areas is one of the most important achievements in our Autonomous Republic. The panorama of our native land have remarkable changed since 70s of the last century as a result of the public subordinates which were initiated by our national leader Heydar Aliyev. To illustrate, now 14% of the Autonomous Republic's territory is covered with greenery, while this figure was only 0.6% in 1995. Green areas, fruit gardens and flower beds created in the dry climate of Nakhchivan in place of destroyed gardens in hard years is only the result of hard work. In the first half of the current year, 226 hectares of forest and forestation works were carried out and more than 222,000 trees and flowers were planted. As mentioned above, planting works are considered the symbol of cleanliness, a healthy environment and abundance. So the expansion of green areas in recent years is one of the most important achievements in our Nakhchivan.
Dear television watchers, that was all for today. We have come to the end of our program. Keep following us to be informed of the latest developments happening in the Autonomous Republic. Hoping to be together next Monday at the same time. Goodbye.